Join us right here, CEO for Affinity Home Care Agency. We do have Chris Zayid joining us. Thank you so much for being here, Chris. I want to get straight to it first and foremost. Can you describe some of the unique challenges that you see some of our seniors in the greater West Bloomfield area face, and how does Affinity Home Care help actually solve those?
Yes, thank you. Well, I first want to say thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate you and this time that you guys have. And so, yes, the seniors in our community, they face a lot of challenges, and also there's a lot of rewards. And so we love to talk about both, embracing our family members, what they face, and also how the problems are being solved in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, our seniors, as our parents, I go back to our own, and I think about my own parents too. We're all independent,
Right.
and we live this life where we actually can be able to wake up every day and enjoy the just the simple tasks that God has given us, to be able to wake up and go downstairs, grab a coffee, get dressed, take a shower, and plan your day, get in your car, and actually get to go to work. And these simple tasks we take for granted.
Yeah.
And so,
Please. No.
a lot of the challenges that I always see with the seniors is losing their independence.
And that's where you step in and actually help with that. And like we said, non-medical care also for the seniors also. And I'm glad that you do that. So it seems like you have a lot of passion behind this. Can you just talk about the rewarding feeling that you have with helping and seeing the assistance that you give some of the seniors in our area?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, not just non-medical home care services, but we also are a medical provider as well too.
Good.
So in the state of Michigan, we can actually provide nurses, physical therapy in your home, medical social workers. We have visiting physicians that come out to the home, and on top of the non-medical. Non-medical is actually to another branch of our services, which is caregiver services in the world, but also it can be called non-medical private duty. So the services that we really concentrate on is if you have a medical condition and you see that your parents are starting to lose their independence,
Right.
That's actually where caregiving services step in. And it doesn't have to be actually where they have to be completely debilitated or on cancer and hospice. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom to be able to receive home care services. Strictly just having someone there as a companion can be just as important. But also too is if you're at the hospital, a lot of the hospitals we work with most major hospitals in the area, like Henry Ford, Providence, U of M, even Cleveland Clinic sent patients that come in the local area. They send us referrals. Huron Valley, DMC. And so if you're sitting in the hospital and you are contemplating on how to take care of yourself or your family member, that's when we come in and be as a resource. Our team actually comes out to you. And so it's a family approach. So we are a family-owned company. We're not corporate. And so we treat you like family, and we make you feel that if I were to meet with you or any of our family members in the community, that we will talk to you and treat you with the highest integrity. And so when we go into the hospital, you have a lot of stress and a lot of decisions to be made. And so that's where we kind of step in, where we can follow you and from the hospital to the rehab, or if you're in the comfort of your home, we can sit down and talk to you and plan this whole thing out. And so home care services are supposed to be, for some, they have covered by insurance. And some it's private pay. It's a luxury to actually sometimes actually receive a caregiver in your services because it's private pay. And not everyone can actually afford that as well too. And that's something that's also a problem in our area, as we've seen, is that affordability. As we've seen, as we're constantly in a recession right now, we have to think about actually being cost savings and not going in and saying, hey, we're going to be in there for 12 hours. Not everybody can afford a caregiver for 12 hours a day. But let's come up with some solutions and even home modifications. Let's modify your home so that we can live in your home forever.
Right. And that's why we have you here, to bring that perspective for people who may not even think about that. And you bring up a lot of great key things, and I want to revisit that. But with us right here on the Splash Live, we have CEO of Affinity Home Care Agency right here in the greater West Bloomfield area, CEO Chris Zayid. And I want to kind of get into that. So with the aging population that we have here in the greater West Bloomfield area, as people start to get towards that age or that range where they may need that type of care, what should they do do as they kind of head towards that age to kind of help prepare for that type of assistance?
Yes. So there's a checklist where you could possibly sit with your family, and it's not an easy conversation. And so, first of all,
Mm.
it's always good to have your paperwork established, like living wills, power of attorneys, in case there would be a certain decision where you can't even speak or talk. Like for example, like an auto accident, you never know that someone could hit you from behind, and actually you can actually have a medical condition, and you can't make decisions. And so, patient advocate forms is first. Have those conversations, because when you parents get older, and when you are the son, like for me, and my talking to my parents about specific things that are really important, like
Hmm.
financials and what happens in the future, it's not an easy conversation, and they probably don't always want to give that up. But if you could start these conversations in the beginning of when you're at beginning stages, and me and your generation,
Hmm.
we actually make life a little bit more easier, because harder, because what we see is our seniors, they have this condition that we probably hear a lot more often, because we have the baby boom industry increasing, which is dementia, and it's just called memory loss. And you
Mm.
might hear the
Yeah.
word Alzheimer's
Yeah.
disease. And so if you don't want to wait till if your family member have a memory loss condition, because it's much harder to have these conversations with them as well too, or even their last dying day, if they have a diagnosis of cancer, God forbid, but you have to have these conversations with them. So I always say the first thing is to do is get all your legal and paperwork, and also talk about the plans in the future, and have these hard conversations
Yeah.
right now. And then, if you don't feel comfortable with that, we take the family approach here at Affinity, and we sit down and we talk to your family members. Sometimes it's better a third party having these conversations than you, because I hate to say it, but not everybody has has a strong relationship with their own family members, and it's very difficult for them to have that conversation.
Yeah, no, no, solid point, solid point. And another thing that you bring up that I want to revisit, treating people like family, right? Essentially, that's kind of going into, we're talking about seniors, we're talking about the eldest people in a lot of our families, which we have a lot of care for, Chris. We care about our grandmothers, our grandfathers, great grandparents, even our mothers and fathers that are there. How is Affinity Home Care ensuring the highest standard of care and personalized attention for each one of these clients?
So we're not only just measured by, if you go on our Google and see that we're 5-star for the past 2 decades, but that's not only we're measured. We're also measured by insurance companies and healthcare facilities. So they measure us by the quality of care, of how our patients become better and independent, so they can get back to their daily life as well too. So that's on our medical home healthcare side. For example, just one insurance called Medicare. Medicare, you can go ahead and go online, and you can see all your companies in the backyard, Greater West Bloomfield, Oakland County. You can see how everyone is measured up between each other, and so we're truly proud to say that we receive the highest level of star ratings in
Good.
CMS, 5-star rating, and we're so proud of that. And so I don't think that there's higher regards of that, because that's not just us; it's our team, our nurses, our therapists, and the caregivers coming into the home. It shows that we're measured by many different ways. How our staff is there in a timely manner. When we're there, do we ask the right questions? Before we leave, do we make sure that they're set up the right way? So it's full circle. And if there's a problem too, we're measured by how we solve problems. If there's a problem, how do we solve the problem, and how quick do we respond to family members' issues that they got going on in their home?
Exactly. Word of mouth, personal customer reviews, those speak volumes to the service that you provide. Hey, Chris, we want to thank you again for your time and for sitting here and explaining why we should choose Affinity Home Care Agency. Again, thank you so much for your time. Any last words, again, before we let you go? Let me give you that opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah, all I say is if your family member or yourself have a medical condition, and you're not sure how to handle that, choose Affinity.
Right.
That's all. And
Very.
we're in your backyard. You can come and stop by our office, or we can come to you. We can have a cup of coffee and just talk about it